Assalamu alaikum everyone and welcome back to the It's Just Us podcast. We are very excited to share some news with you today. So our official sponsor, Sunnah Supplements, will actually be sponsoring several open iftars across the country and is the official sponsor for the Ramadan Run Club's 2 initiatives, which include the Ramadan Tent Project. So during those events, Sunnah Supplements will be giving out free samples. So make sure you check them out and get your free sample then.
For those who don't know, the Ramadan Tent Project has been doing incredible work over 10 years, creating spaces where people from all walks of life can come together to share a meal, learn from one another and celebrate the spirit of Ramadan. Their open iftar events are about so much more than just breaking your fast. They're about fostering connections, understanding and a sense of community.
So keep an eye out on Sunnah Supplements Instagram and social media for updates on the events, behind the scene moments and tips to help you get the most out of this Ramadan.
Ramadan is a time of balance, nurturing our physical, spiritual and emotional well-being, and we are so excited to be part of this journey with all of you guys. So let's make this Ramadan meaningful, active and full of connections.
The honour.
Yeah. And she did it so perfectly as well.
The Asian claps are real.
It's when the mom's just so vexed.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
20 seconds into this.
I'm really laughing. Okay. Anyways. Guys, welcome back to the It's Just Us podcast. I hope you're all having a lovely, lovely day. Imaani, how are you?
Feeling good.
You're feeling good?
I'm feeling excited. I feel a bit
nervous. Yeah, I'm actually really gassed today because we've got our very first guest of the pod and it's actually an honour. So before we actually, get into conversation with her, I thought I'd just do like a little bit of an introduction. We're so excited to introduce our very first guest, someone who's taken the fitness world by storm whilst staying unapologetically herself. Our special guest is a part-time gym content creator, full-time dentist student and 5 a.m. slay girly who started her page as an experiment, and it's safe to say that her experiment paid off. Growing significantly on Instagram and TikTok, she built a beautiful and supportive community that's inspired by her incredible weight loss journey, her positivity and her authenticity. And they're also still really curious about why the hell she looks so similar to Davey from Never Have I Ever, because they're basically twins at this point, Mm-hmm. From millions of views across the globe to being one of the few brown Gymshark athletes, she is breaking barriers and representing so many girls who need to see that the gym isn't a scary place. But what makes her so special isn't just her content, it's her love for her family, her mum, her sister and dad, and the genuine kind-hearted person that she is. I'm so honoured to call her a good friend of mine. And I still remember the first time that we actually met at London Bridge Station and we just looked at each other, we were like, whoa, that's her. And I thought, wow, she's actually even more beautiful in person. So with further ado, and let's all welcome our very first guest, Sandhya, aka Sandsxfitness.
Oh my god, that was too cute.
We had to do an
intro.
Oh my gosh, are you tearing up?
Babe, it looks like you're tearing up to get up to.
I literally can't do it. Okay.
How are you feeling? How are you today?
I'm good. The rain today is absolutely horror, but
Yeah.
we made it. I actually have really wanted to meet, well, I met you, but I wanted to meet both of them in person for a really long time. So it's about time.
And you finally did it. I'm so sorry about the journey.
Baby
That's
girl
UK
went
weather
through
for
a storm.
you.
She came from a storm.
She came from a
I
storm.
went through hell to get here.
Well, we got there in the end.
Yeah, exactly.
You managed to come and now you're finally here and we're finally doing this because we've been wanting just to speak to you in so long and we've been wanting you on the pod because I feel like you're just like the perfect first guest. Like Imaani and I, South Asian girls trying to break barriers, and we feel like you're doing the exact same thing. So we just want to get into like the nitty gritty, basically from the very start.
I'm ready.
The very, very start, okay? Because you started your Instagram just for vibes. I feel like you literally was like, I remember you posted a video about, you were like, I'm just going to start the page, I'm going to see how it goes.
Yeah.
And here you are now. Like,
crazy.
did you ever expect to be in this position that you're in today?
No.
I'm shook.
When did you start your page?
So it was February of 2023. Yeah, so
That's
nearly
insane.
2 years ago.
And the growth is
It's
wild.
And like, honestly, when I started, I literally did it for the giggles, like actual giggles.
But I love that you still have the giggles.
Yeah, no, I'm always about the giggles. Okay, I need the giggles. Through the traumas of my life, I need giggles. Okay, so yeah.
Oh,
it's
but
insane.
it's amazing because what we've noticed about your page is that you're just so real with like gym experiences, gym environment, just like encounters that you have. Like when you started your page, just sort of vibes, did you have this mindset of like, oh, I'm gonna do this style of content, or were you just going with the flow?
No, I think I just kind of wanted to document like random bits of what I was doing, and I loved editing videos before going to the gym, but not about the gym. It was just like birthday videos for my mum, my dad, or whatever.
Yeah.
And so, but I also just love being funny. I'm like, I think I'm hilarious.
You're hilarious. Babe.
No, babe, you're a funny girl.
I'm
I
hilarious.
literally watch a video and I cackle. Like, I love them.
Like, if you don't think I'm funny, I just think you're wrong. But anyway, so I wanted to like just make people laugh because I would just make myself laugh. And then I kind of think the style just kind of came from there.
Yeah.
But yeah.
And what I love is that you've just embraced so much from it. Like you just show so much within the videos, and it doesn't have to just be fitness related. It can be relationships with your family. It can be a relationship with, you know, your culture and whatnot. We'll get into like obviously family relations and South Asian culture a little bit later in the episode. But just tell me, like, is there an initial thing that inspired you when starting? Was there a certain person or what gave you that feeling of like, I'm just gonna do it? Because yes, it was off vibes, but surely there was like a trigger before that.
Yeah, like
the
was it
actual
like a video
spark.
went viral, or was it more like you saw someone else do a gym video and then you were like, maybe I can try myself? Like, what really was it?
I think, because I think I'd gotten to the end of my first like weight loss journey. And I was like, I want to share this somewhat. And I want to show how much this changed my life kind of thing. And I was just kind of sitting on it. And I really did contemplate social media for a while. And then I had like a Snapchat spam, as we all did, I'm sure.
Yes.
I
I unapologetically still haven't got a Snapchat.
fair.
I still use it. Just for
Mine's
the
deleted.
close girlies.
No,
But,
facts,
you know.
facts,
Yeah.
exactly. So on my spam, I was like, guys, so do you think I should create a TikTok page? And my friends, like, literally, they'll gas up anything I do. Like, I could walk to the shop and they'll be like, oh my God, wow. So they were just like,
We love supportive friends.
Exactly. So they were like,
yeah.
start it, like, you need to do it. And then I just did it. But I did block the whole of Northwest London in the process. But I did do it.
No, but that's fair. That's giving. I care about my mental health.
Yeah, exactly. Like,
Do you know
I
what
don't
I
need to
mean?
be judged by my, you know. So
And isn't it funny how like we always worry about people who judge us? I think it actually is a South Asian thing as well. Like we've grown up around like judgmental aunties
100%.
or like cousins that are always trying to compete from like literal birth. And I feel like that it's so strange when an actual stranger supports you sometimes more than your own.
No, it's crazy.
Was that like your worry? Like, did you think, okay, auntie's going to say this, auntie's going to say that? Or was it just more the case of like it was something new, so you were just scared?
Yeah, I think my worry wasn't about aunties initially.
Okay.
Because I didn't think they're online enough to be on my side of
on the
TikTok.
Facebook
Do you know what I
market.
mean? Like they're not on like gym girl fitness TikTok
it's
situation.
They're on WhatsApp only.
They're just like on those like random like TV shows that have been in 10-minute TikToks like compiled.
Yeah.
I was more worried about like the community of my age.
I hear it. I kind of feel you on that.
There's definitely some judgmental people out there our age. And they definitely like to gossip.
Yeah.
They're like, oh my God, did you see her page?
People are nosy.
I'm like, they're really like, it's not your business.
No.
But I obviously was really scared of them, so I was like, block.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, I went through the same. I don't know. Did you go through the same thing? I was very when I started my page. I was so not like scared, but more like it was in the back of my head. Like, oh, people at uni, they're gonna see it. Or like people like when I started doing, I did UGC content, user generated content for Cinna Supplements. So the brand that's sponsoring this podcast, I did work with them a while ago, and it was proper like. You know, very like commercial kind of vibe, something out of my comfort zone. And the first thing I thought of whilst I was trying to start my page was people at uni. They're gonna say stuff. They're gonna gossip, and it was just burying in my mind at one point, and then it just became very like powerful, that kind of feeling.
Yeah.
But then eventually, at one point, I was like, you know what? Doesn't matter, because I saw the growth.
I
When you see the
agree.
growth,
Exactly.
you're kind of like,
And
whatever.
also, I think even like in 2023, gym fitness like influencers was not as normalized as it is now. Like it's way more normalized to get up a tripod and film in the gym.
Yeah.
But like if you're not seeing anyone that looks like you do it, you're gonna be like, firstly, I should really be doing it because no one else like who I know is doing it that look like me. And then at the same time, it's like, I'm in a public setting. Like how shameless can I be?
No, literally.
Was it easier? But I'm not saying it's easier for you, but was it a little bit harder for you, when you started, because you started a few years ago?
Yeah, I
and there was
started
no
like in
one-
lockdown. Like I
Yeah.
literally used to do like home workouts with milk
Insane.
bottles. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Milk bottles.
So like, yeah, like I used to do
That
like
is
No, that
milk
is
bottles.
insane discipline. That is insane.
Literally.
I was going insane, babe.
I wouldn't even go for a
Going
walk.
insane.
Like that was my lockdown.
Yeah, literally, I was at home most of the
No,
time.
but that's what I mean. Like back then, and then when I started filming in the gym, I used to get my little sister to film for me. So then, and bro, we used to have beef.
No,
Like, she used to be
yeah,
like,
yeah.
"Oh, I'm not like, you don't even pay me for this. Shout out, like, I'm gonna nice you one day, babe. I'm gonna nice. But
She'll
like,
reimburse you soon.
do you know?
This is crazy.
But like now, it's so normal.
Yeah.
It's so normal. But I can imagine though, like for you, like, did you have anyone you kind of looked up to, or were you happy to just be like, you know what, I'm one of the minority. I'm just gonna do it. Like, F it. You know,
I
you know what I mean?
didn't have like a brown fitness content creator that I looked up to. I did see content creators that I love, like Sydney Cassidy.
Yeah.
Like she was such like a warm, welcoming personality to the gym environment, and she was definitely someone that encouraged me to keep going.
Yeah.
And like I love Sydney right now.
Yeah, her
Besties.
content's amazing. It's very
So
inspiring.
wholesome.
And
Exactly.
she's also another authentic example, very real example, because she shows a lot. She shows her struggles too. And then it makes you think like, oh, you're not just going through the situation. There are other people that are going through it too. So
Yeah.
yeah, I completely feel you. with that.
Exactly. I think she was definitely like one of my inspirations to start like content creating. But the message I wanted to send out was kind of like just from myself. Because I think a lot of weight loss content creators, they're like very just weight loss. Like it's just like weight loss recipes, which is so fine. It's very much needed for people that want that kind of inspo. But I also just want to share that there's more than that. Like your whole life doesn't have to be your weight loss journey. Like
you're more than just that one aspect of your,
Yeah.
like also sometimes it's not just that one part of your personality.
Yeah.
Like, and I feel like that's what I love about your content is that you don't even shy away from the fact that you're a dental student and that you have to do a 5 AM bloody slay just to get your stuff in and then film and then probably like, I don't know, do you work out and actually film at the same time, or do you now just schedule your filming time?
I film when I work out. Like I literally film my whole session. Pretty
And I
much.
love that for you. That sounds like the perfect structure, if anything. Like
Yeah.
you're getting your work.
No wonder you got to do it at 5 AM, babe.
Literally.
No, because if I film when I work, because I work out 5 days a week.
Yeah.
And then I just film everything and anything I can.
Yeah.
And then I edit on the tube.
We love that.
It's
for
about
you.
time efficiency.
Yeah.
It's about time efficient. Yeah. And you know what? Fair. I need to learn from you then, because I don't do that. But you know what? For me is that, and I'm gonna change this. 2025. We're gonna be
It's
a
the
morning
year.
babe. We're gonna be like you. I'm gonna start going 5 AM as well, because I used to go like around 6 PM time, and it's impossible to film in the
can't
evening.
It's also just, I don't even like working out in that kind of environment, like
You used to
personally.
work out in the evening and film in the evening. I remember before.
Yeah,
you went
like
back to
I
uni.
used to work out, like even then it was still like 10 a.m. or like whatever, but I rarely ever went 6 p.m., 7 p.m. because it's so busy and I get so overstimulated by busy environments.
Yeah.
So I was like, yeah, no.
Yeah, it's not gonna happen.
And you won't be able to release either. Like, you know, sometimes,
No.
like, for me, I sometimes think where, you know, life is so busy and where now it is actually a job to also work out in some ways. It's like, I need to at least be in an environment where like something is stress relieving for me rather than actually stress inducing.
Exactly.
And asking somebody like how many sets do you have like every 2 minutes is very stress inducing.
Exactly. No, I 100% agree. Like the gym is also, because you go through a lot, especially as like being a dental student and uni being an absolute babe. Your face says it all. Your face says it all. We feel you on that
There's
one.
good moments.
It's a
I feel like,
bit
yeah, I definitely do undersell it, but like, yeah. It's alright.
But the gym is like, obviously, let's just say filming content, being in the gym is also kind of like your job now. Do you ever go through moments where you think, oh, like it's getting a lot, and the gym turns out to be a place that's actually not the most stress relieving place for you?
It's weirdly like every time I go to the gym, it's always been stress relief. Like sometimes my stress from uni or like life will infiltrate into the gym, but it's never been that gym has stressed me out. But I will say like editing sometimes, I'm like, I physically don't have the energy now. Like, I'm so tired, I'm so stressed.
You can be motivated to film, but then when it comes to
Yeah.
editing, it's like, I can't.
I think
be
editing
bothered.
is the like the thing that gets me sometimes.
Yeah, but you do it so well. And you're smashing it. And
She is.
I can see that, you know, you get a lot of support. Okay, you get a lot of support from your parents and your sister,
Yeah,
like your
so
sisters and your
lucky.
content, your mum. Your
Oh,
mum, man.
I love your mum.
She has my whole
Honestly, we should
heart,
have put her mum
soul.
today.
Literally, man. You actually should have brought your
So
mum.
guess what? This much. She actually has such a big ego
Carla, if
right
you're
now.
watching this, please
Auntie,
come on the pod. Come
please.
on the pod. Come on the pod. Yeah,
I might as well sleep now.
both of you next time.
Yeah,
No,
just
but
like-
I can tell that obviously, you know, your whole family. I'm guessing they are another encouraging factor to kind of like keep on going.
It's so beautiful to see, you know.
Yeah,
honestly.
exactly.
I'm very lucky.
Yeah, and I love that you're portraying that on your page because I feel like, especially in the South Asian community, everyone kind of struggles with like parental relationships
Yeah.
sometimes because, you know, so many things can happen, so many situations, people go through different journeys.
Yeah.
But what I see with you and your mum is more than just a mother-daughter relationship, but also a friendship as well.
Yeah.
Like, she's your number one hype woman. Like, do you know what I mean?
That is
She's
your
the muscle
Kris Jenner.
mummy. of
Like-
Yeah, she is my
She-
Kris Jenner, 100%.
yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
But like, this is the thing. Like, I say this all the time because we say with South Asian families there's like a really difficult relationship with like parents and children because they were raised a different way and whatever.
Yeah.
And like my parents were raised with the whole like, oh, you should be like slim or you should be, you know, a particular build or
Yeah.
better to be light skinned, whatever. I can't lie, like when I was younger and I put on weight, my parents would say the same thing, but I don't even blame them because that is literally how they were raised.
Yeah.
And I imagine we
hear
would do the
it.
same thing if we were normalized to that.
Yeah.
But then as soon as I told them, I remember I was just sobbing and I was like, guys, just stop calling me fat. Okay, this really gets to me. And I'm such an ugly cry, so that probably was just really ingrained in their memory. And they never did it since. And I'm like, yes, like parents probably will make those comments, but they can change if they want to.
Yeah. You just
then-
got to teach them.
It's a lot of like, I feel like as well, being a child of immigrants as well, or from like that kind of generation or that kind of background, is also having the patience to know that if you're the one that's going to help your parent unlearn, that's not necessarily a bad thing because that's all they've known themselves.
Exactly.
Like, we're probably a voice for them that they never even knew about until
Yeah.
then. So like, if you've got a responsibility and you want to take and you embrace it, it will help.
Yeah,
You're
exactly.
healing each other.
I do
you
think
know?
we give them a bit too much stick for like what they say.
Yeah.
It's probably an age thing as well,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, I sometimes forget
Come
that
with age.
actually, like, yeah, our parents are from a completely different generation and they were raised completely differently. But it's kind of reassuring to know that going forward, when we one day will become parents, we'll be doing things a little bit differently. Not saying that our parents were doing it incorrectly. Our parents raised lovely people. You know, you got two lovely people beside me.
Three.
Thanks, guys. But what I'm saying is that it's not like they did they did an amazing job. It's just the case of kind of changing that narrative about what beauty is, because beauty isn't just slim. And
No.
same with the Pakistani culture as well, the Bengali culture too. That is the same kind of mindset that they have.
Yeah.
That the slimmer the better. And if you're literally a little bit wider than what they are back home, damn, you're overweight. And it's
It's not
the
even
case.
than they are. Like I had some people that weren't even like going on walks. Okay, tell me that I needed to go to the gym, and I was like, "Sir, shut your mouth." Okay, so it's just everyone.
So when it came to like starting your weight loss journey, would you say that your parents were kind of the ones that
The
kind of like
triggering
pushed
factor.
you?
Yeah, like,
the triggering factor?
or was it just like one day
or-
you just woke up and you're like, you know what?
yeah.
I'm going to just do it now
Yeah.
and commit.
No, my
Or-
weight loss journey is so. It's just so not bizarre, but it's just so.
Spill.
It's just
But
like-
that seems like it's normal though.
Yeah.
But
Do you know
what I mean by that is it started when
life.
I was 13 that I got weight
Wow.
comments. Like
Okay.
I remember like I would come into like a wedding and before I even said hello to my cousin, and I didn't even know he was my cousin at the time. But I
Crazy.
went in and he was like, "So you've gotten bigger?" And I was like, "Wow. Okay, so that's how we greet each other these days."
Yeah, man.
And I just remember sobbing my eyes out. And then that summer, I did. Do you know what Blogilates is?
Blogilates.
Blogilates. I think her name is Cassie. And she's actually probably a really good trainer. But
Oh, that's a username.
no, that's her name. Oh, Blogilates is her username.
Oh, okay.
Cassie is her actual name.
Oh,
I
amazing.
think it's Cassie.
Okay.
But anyways, she's like one of those creators that do like 10-minute ab burn and 30-minute, and they're probably actually really good. Like if you do them the amount of times she tells you to.
yeah.
I was doing that 10-minute ab burn about 80 times, not 80 times, but like 8 times in one day, and then I do like 45-minute cardio blast, and then I
Yeah.
literally just get salad. I was 13,
Yeah.
and I did
How old
that.
are you now?
I'm 22.
Wow.
So I did
Okay.
that over the summer of year
Yeah.
8, I think. And I got really skinny. And then I remember my aunt was like, again, I did not know she was my aunt, but she was like, so it's actually better if you're bigger because then you'll be more wealthy. I was like, what?
You're like,
kind
I want
of
to be poor.
theory?
Like, you're telling me to do all X, Y, and Z.
Literally.
Then when I do X, Y, and Z, you tell me
So
to
now
go
I'm
backwards.
skinny and poor.
No, it's crazy.
Like, what's the reason? Where do you win in life?
Where do I go from here?
So anyways, then I put on weight again.
Yeah.
Not because she said that, but because I wanted to eat.
Yeah, of course.
And then I think basically I just went through a whole lot of weight loss, weight gain journeys, but specifically more because people were telling me that I should have lost weight and I should have not gained weight, but they're like, you need to just like not look like a skeleton. And then I went to uni, and basically in the first term of uni, I basically just went through I just spiraled downwards. Like I had depression and anxiety. Just because when I went into uni, before I was really princess, so I was treated well, like in every single aspect. My mum cooked for me, she cleaned for me. It's an icon, really. And then I came to uni and I was like, I have to do my own washing, I have to do my own food. I don't know what the hell I'm doing.
So you lived out.
Yeah.
We're like,
So you felt like from a horror movie.
sorry.
No, don't apologise. It's a free show.
So you lived out.
Yeah, and I had to do everything myself. And that sounds so like, oh my God, she's crying about the fact that she had to do everything herself.
No.
But it's a lot. When you
It's
go
a
from
lot.
yeah, and then also I had like 12 lectures or something a week. Actually, no, not even a week. It was 6 lectures a day at the beginning. And I was like, during Freshers' time as well, when I was going clubbing like 3-4 times a week, God knows how I did that. Because I can't even go out past 10 these days. And I basically just spiraled into a depression, and I didn't really eat much, but because I was just so like done. And then basically my uni has this thing called a wellness advisor, and I went to her and she was like, well, we have this active wellness scheme, and it's like a free PT for 6 sessions who also talks to you about nutrition. And he like got me into the gym and like taught me how to do like exercises, and he was like, well, you need to be eating more. He was like, what do you want? And I was like, I want to be better and I want to have a big bum. And he was like, okay, well, this is what you got to do. You got to eat. And I was like, okay, cool. And then I just started eating and I started seeing growth. And I was like, well, actually, I want to do something with this. And then I got a coach because I was like, if I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it. Like, right. Because I know with me, with the knowledge that I had then, I would have just been like, okay, I don't need to eat. Or just been straight salads, and then that was it. And so I got a coach, and then she really like kickstarted me into.
Would you recommend like a newcomer to get a coach then? Like at the very start, what would your advice be then?
The thing is, I was very lucky that I was able to afford it because I had like a maintenance loan that covered like my accommodation, and then the rest.
We love
covered
the
my
uni maintenance loan. I hear you on that.
I've been paying it back.
Everyone knows
that,
right? He knows.
But what was left over, I used towards my coaching. And so I was very lucky in that respect. But coaches can be really expensive. But I just think it was a really good investment. Like it's actually changed my life.
It's not a waste of money. It's an investment
you've
made.
made.
Yeah,
exactly.
I mean, we have coaches as well. Imaani's got a coach. I've got like a powerlifting coach, but still a coach that can kind of direct you.
Yeah.
And you're paying money, and some people may think it's a waste of money, but in my head, I just think it's really important guidance, and this guidance is eventually going to put you in a state where you're going to feel your very best.
Yeah.
And then you can just lead that on to other people as well.
Exactly. And if you give it your all, your
Knowledge
coach
is power as well. Yeah.
And you know what's crazy? I feel like, sure, like the end goal is going to be the end goal, regardless of when you make it. But also, if you have got, the fortunate like position to be in, and you can actually, get a coach and invest in them, probably can get there a bit more sooner as well, because you do less mistakes because you're more on the, the steady path.
We're also in a very good age where a lot of stuff is on social media, but I say that a lot of stuff is on social media, so some of it isn't actually like great.
Yeah.
But if you find the right things, it can be really good.
Yeah. I mean, there is a lot of like, I guess, misinformation, if that makes sense.
Yeah. And there's just a lot of information. Like even I'm sometimes getting
overstimulated on
gut
social
health,
media.
cortisol, balancing hormones. How many hormones do we need to balance?
You know what I mean? And why are they never balanced?
I'm just a girl.
So it is a lot. It's a lot.
Yeah. But that's really cool. So do you still have that coach, or was that just a temporary thing at uni?
No, but I'm really good friends with her. And sometimes I still go to her for advice.
Yeah.
Like I'm like, so I don't really know. Because I'm still debating whether I want to go down, like, do I want abs or do I want glutes? Or do I just want to maintain? Or do I just want to live? Do I want to go into calisthenics? Or like, do you know what I mean? I don't know what I want. So I just keep talking to her, and she's probably sick of me, but it's okay.
But you know what? I feel like, I don't know whether like it's just so great to be in a generation now where you do get inspired to move so much. Like, as in, like, I'm doing a marathon it's in 2 months. That's
God
actually some scary
forbid.
thing. No, but
You
that's
did
what I'm
10K.
I did not do a marathon.
You went
I did a
Literally
wait.
whole Paris.
Let me explain that story real quick. Okay, I got an email and all I saw was Paris, so I said yes, and they were like, marathon or 10K, and I was like, and that's when I just signed on with Gymshark, and like when I just
you were like, let me just stay on a
so I was
high.
like, okay, so I probably shouldn't tell them that I didn't read the emails. I was like, so that'll be the 10K, and then I didn't train for it, and I just ran.
Are you not
That
a
was
runner?
iconic.
Like, are you? I know you're a weight training girlie, and I've seen
I
quite a few
do a
times.
little cardio.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
sometimes I'll do a
master.
little cheeky jog.
Yeah.
But I don't run for fun. Like, do you know what I mean?
I don't think anyone runs
I
for
hate
fun,
you, same.
babe.
I know.
I'm not running for fun.
I
I think
think
I'm
you
running
enjoy
for
running.
trauma.
Fair. Either way.
I feel like running gives me trauma though. Like I'm genuinely running and I'm crying because of the running. Like it's not escaping traumas. It's giving me a new one.
Running
I
itself
hear that.
is the trauma.
I hear that. I
Yeah.
actually hear that. You know the whole thing about runners high, right?
No.
You know what's crazy? I was training for my half marathon in September for like 10, 15 weeks or something. Can't remember. On the week of my marathon, that was the first time I had runners high. Everything before that was just plain torture.
Actually, do you know what? I do get you.
Did you
'cause
get
after
runners
my
high?
Paris 10K?
Yeah.
No, not a marathon, God forbid.
Were you on a high?
Well, after it, I was
Yeah.
on this like massive high, and I couldn't sleep. But during it, I was like,
Yeah. What was your prep like? Because I remember you telling me like, oh, I'm not ready. I'm not ready.
prep for the 10K.
Yeah.
That there was no prep for the 10K.
Yeah, there was no prep for the 10K.
She was trying to do Emily in Paris.
Yeah.
I was just eating like profiteroles, like just live, laugh, love
yeah,
it.
because it's fine. Like you're just a girl. So
I had a
you just gotta
baguette
do what you
before I
gotta do.
ran, like
Stop
do you know what I
it.
mean, carb loading.
Did you get like a bad stitch midway?
No, but I ate a banana by accident because I thought it was banana bread, and that was a really significant trauma from that run.
What, you ate a banana?
Like they
by-
basically had
what?
like food out for us so that we
Yeah.
could go, and I swear I saw banana bread. So I went to grab it and it was a banana, and I hate bananas, but I love banana bread.
Yeah,
and that's really the only thing I remember from that run.
Did you throw up?
No.
But you found
Internally.
it. Internally in your brain. You were like,
Indeed.
"Ugh."
How do you,
Yeah,
man?
it was a really traumatic.
Yeah. But you know what? Going back to obviously that kind of period in time, you just became Gymshark athlete.
Yeah.
Which was pretty amazing. Round of applause.
We got
We got
a
a whole
guest.
Gymshark athlete in the studio today. Tell me what went through your head when you just became.
Yeah, like, did you
when
expect it?
saw
Was it like
the papers, the contract?
Do you know, it
the
just didn't even
email?
feel real. Like I was
Yeah.
actually mid-exam season when I got offered the
Yeah.
athlete position.
How long have you been an athlete for?
I think May, but I announced it in June.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
that's
May was when I knew.
That's crazy. It's almost a year.
Yeah.
Almost a year.
It's
That's insane. And look what you've done in a year. But sorry, I'm speeding through.
So
Go back
that's
to the
the
start.
question.
Yeah. How were you feeling? Like, what was going through your head?
It was just like I was mid-exam season, so I just think none of it felt real.
Yeah.
And I remember being on the court and they just pitched it to me, and I was like, yeah, this is not. I bet you my manager was like, she does not look interested whatsoever. But it's because I was so tired. So I just looked at it and I was like, there's no way this is real.
Yeah.
Like I was looking through and they were talking about like all these things that Gymshark do, and I was like, okay,
Yeah.
I didn't understand anything. But okay.
Would you say it was like a dream come true for you? Like something that.
It was almost like the thing is, I'm quite a self-saboteur. So like before
I hear
I
you.
got anything, I was like, there's no way any brand is gonna sign with me. And I remember someone was like, do you think like you would ever do it with Gymshark? And I was like, I didn't even answer the question. I said there was no way on earth Gymshark would ever even approach me, but only because they're such a big brand, and such a monumental brand. I was like, they wouldn't want me. Like, I definitely do undervalue myself.
One thing that like we definitely have in common is imposter
I
syndrome.
was about to say,
Yeah.
babe,
Yeah.
me too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
all honestly.
But I think it's also because like, firstly, when you literally come from like no background in this industry at all, you've never known anyone maybe like who have a similar path to you to even like dream that big. You just look at all these athletes online and you're like, surely it can't be me.
Yeah.
Surely.
I mean, also it was early doors for you in terms of not just Gymshark, not just brands, but like just content creating as a whole, because you only started in 2023.
Yeah.
So at that point, you were probably thinking, or I don't know if you were thinking, but like going
Were you
through
in that
that,
space long
having
enough kind
offered,
of thing?
like, should I have this or not?
Yeah,
Like, I get the
it's just
feeling.
wild.
Yeah.
And then I was just like, because when I got offered it, I think it didn't really sit in my head until like a week later, and I was like,
Yeah.
oh my God.
Yeah.
And I was like, I have to do this. Like,
Yeah.
this just,
Yeah, of course.
yeah, like I had to.
Yeah. I mean, when it came to that period of time with Gymshark and everything, like, tell me in terms of when you accepted and then you obviously went through with it. And then, of course, you had to go through the process of, you know, doing your announcement video and shoot and like meeting other content creators.
Meeting other
like,
athletes. Like, how was that whole
what was the
experience?
process? This podcast is sponsored by Sunnah Supplements, the first halal collagen brand in the world where they offer halal products like collagen and other things like multivitamins, biotin, probiotics, turmeric. We got to have that turmeric in our diet. Multiple different products, and it's all great if you're Muslim because they are halal.
With us, you can use It's Just Us discount code where you'll get 10% off all products. So all you'll have to write It's Just Us at checkout.
Okay,
the
so,
tea.
okay. So I signed the contract, and then I just had exam season, and then literally once exam season was over, I went to shoot my athlete shoot at the Gymshark HQ in Birmingham. That was insane. I brought my mum and my sister. My dad had worked that day, but yeah, I brought them, and it was just it's a huge festival.
Yeah.
You see all their product development, like they had free food.
It's all about the food.
No, honestly, as a student, anytime I see free food, I'm like,
Yeah.
and then we did our shoot, and honestly, like I've never felt so like empowered
Yeah.
Wow.
in such a long time. But I also had major imposter syndrome. I remember at my athlete shoot, because I was like,
Doesn't feel
almost
real.
it just did not feel real.
Yeah.
And then my athlete video came out. And the next day I had a shoot with the athletes.
Wow.
Who did you meet on that day? Who was there?
Oh, everyone! Like I said that really traumatic. I actually meant like everyone was there.
Like, was like Mayma there?
Yeah, so
all the UK
Mayma,
athletes like McKenna.
Yeah, McKenna was there.
Yeah.
Millie,
Sydney.
was there. Abby Dennison.
Yeah.
Fit. I don't know what I said. Her username. Just Abby. It's fine. So I met everyone, and everyone was just so sweet. But I get really overstimulated by big crowds, and I knew no one. So I remember I came in, I was like, "Hi, everyone," and everyone was so sweet. And then like they were like, okay, so you just you content create and you take pictures at the shoot. And I remember I was a bit low confidence at that point because actually no, exam season wasn't finished. I had one exam the day after that shoot.
Stop it. So whilst everyone was having high on life, you were just like,
I was revising. Like, so like
Wow.
anytime I would have like a picture and then I'd be like, go revise. And I just had like major imposter syndrome. I was like so low confidence on my exams. I thought I failed everything. And then like, I had to go to the shoot, and like I felt so bad, but I was like so stressed.
Yeah.
And so they were like, okay, so start content creating, and that's when like you go with different athletes and kind of make the videos.
How did you navigate that at that time?
I
Like,
did
who do
not.
I speak to?
Yeah, just waiting for this. So they were like, start creating with the athletes. I was like, okay. And then I went to my manager and I was like, I don't really know what to do. And she was like, you could go create with them. I was like, yeah. And she's like, do you want to go outside? I was like, yeah. Then I just started bawling my eyes out. And then Mayma, that was her first impression of me.
Oh, Mayma, you're a hero.
I'm so sorry. Because my crying face, like, you know that Kim crying
Kim face.
It really is that. It literally is like, and you can't understand a word I'm saying. I know you can't understand a word I'm saying, but I'm trying to tell you something. I just really don't know. Crowded and by. And literally, I think my manager was like, I don't think this girl's gonna last. Like, she's not gonna be okay.
Wow.
But honestly, like after I cried, Mayma was like so sweet, and like she would literally just like mummed me the entire time. She's like, do you want to go there? I was like, yeah. And bear in mind, I'm 22, like I'm a full grown adult.
No, but you're still a baby.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Do you know what I mean?
Not
You're
even
just a
that, but
baby.
you're just also still new in that kind of
Yeah.
space. So regardless how old you are, you're gonna feel it's an overwhelming experience. Like you're meeting all these athletes that you've seen on your phone screens for so long.
and
And
that
you're
is
also
in
you
person.
are one now.
Exactly.
Yeah.
insane. But then after that, like we had different shoots after my exams were done. I actually had like I was back to human form.
Yeah.
I saw Millie and Lucy Davis in Paris.
I love Lucy.
I love them. Like
And
I
Millie's
actually love them
incredible as well.
both.
I love Millie's like voiceover content. It's just so
Oh,
fun to watch.
I
and
could
so
watch that all day.
satisfying.
It's
So
like,
inspiring.
She has such a nice voice as well.
Yeah.
Like,
It's so satisfying.
Honestly, sometimes I think to myself, right, like in a different life, I could actually sound, like I said to you, like, I'm a woman, but I'm not a lady. Does that make sense? Like I don't.
She said this to me the other day, and I was
no,
like,
like you know,
what
like the
do you
voice,
mean?
like you know how like
I could listen to your voice all day.
Exactly. You're a
Don't make
podcaster
me
now.
shy now, son.
You're a
Don't
podcaster
make me
now.
shy.
No,
Your
literally.
voice is said you're a podcaster.
Yo, guys.
Oh,
guys.
there.
Yeah, when we're deflecting, I feel shy now.
But yeah, they're both so sweet, and they're just like
Yeah.
Lucy. Oh my god, like
I love her
she's
content.
first of all hench. Like she is just built
Really?
to the gods.
I can tell by
Okay.
this phone screen, but like in person, I bet it's just a different gravy.
But like, if I was built like that, I wouldn't even feel that. I'd be like, I didn't need to talk to you. I'm built different. But she just treated me so well. Like, I felt so mothered on that trip. They all told me everything I was doing. Like, I had my phone out. They were like, Sandy, why is your phone out like that? And I was like, I just want it out. And they were like, you're gonna get robbed. And I was like, okay, cool. So I was very much like a child on that trip. But it was just so cute. And then I met McKenna in Manchester, and we got along really well. So
I'm guessing that you and McKenna are like the best friends, basically. from
Yeah,
your
we're really
content.
I actually love you guys' friendship. So it's
Yeah.
so wholesome.
Yeah.
So wholesome.
he's actually really annoying. No, I'm joking. No, he's really sweet. And he actually was like one of my favorite people when we first had the shoot because he's just such a like. And I think anyone will say this about McKenna. He's just very like energetic, and he's so like warm and welcoming. Like I think anyone can get along with him.
Yeah.
And like Sydney is just like it's just like a warm soul.
I get that from her. Like
Yeah.
I've never met her in my life, but I can already sense that like she has this energy about
Yeah.
her, which is so like unique because not many people can do that
Exactly.
online.
Like she's so warm, but also like she's actually really real.
Yeah, and I see that from her content as well. Whenever I'm
Yeah.
watching her videos, you feel like you're in the room with her almost.
Yeah.
But that's how we also feel with your content too. Like whenever you upload, like I just feel like I'm in the gym with you because it's very
Oh,
interactive.
I'm in your kitchen sometimes.
Yeah.
Or I'm in your bedroom.
Exactly. Oh.
well.
But regardless, it's
No.
very wholesome. And I think my favorite, just because like my mum is also like my best friend, I think my favorite thing to see is like you and your mum and your relationship with
yeah.
her. It's really great. And you really are breaking barriers in that kind of way where even in the South Asian side of everything, like people don't really see that. Especially South Asian content creators, they don't really show that side of their life. And we're really grateful that you do that because it's making us feel
I
like,
agree.
oh, okay, like
Yeah.
you can have that kind of relationship with your family members.
And you know what is as well? I also feel like you do heal. Like, you know what? Like, may Allah always bless you and your mom's relationship and keep you guys close all the time. Because honestly, I feel like even like, and I feel like I could relate to this as well because my dad was my biggest inspiration in gym. And even though he's not here in the world anymore, he helped a lot. Like, people just seeing that relationship exist is almost like, okay, even if I don't have that relationship, I can be that parent one day. So I feel like
it actually can happen.
do you know what I mean? And I feel that's your way of also sharing content that's actually healing people as well. Do you know what I mean? Like even seeing you and your mum have banter, like, oh my God, your mum jokes, like you're funny, but your mum's hilarious.
No, she's actually hilarious.
Honestly,
No, she's
like
hilarious.
auntie is actually top tier. You know what I mean?
Like she just comes with things out of nowhere. Like I literally just like, oh my boobs ginormous, and she's like, once upon a time.
I know, I saw that. And you know what's funny? Asian sarcasm is so different.
So different.
No, it's
like,
crazy.
That's not
There's
UK
no sarcasm,
bread.
like-
And it's quick. It's like
quick.
do you know, nowhere. Sometimes they don't have facial expressions with their sarcasm. It's
No,
just
they just
It's
say
not
it. And I'm
even
like,
sarcasm. It's they're just basically saying how they feel.
like she's
You
been
don't
holding
have a
that
big
one for
ass.
time. Like she had that in her back pocket ready, ready for the day.
But that's what I mean. That's why, like, it's sometimes not even like just seeing on a screen like a mum and daughter having, even though it's still very powerful for like to see a mum and daughter maybe like hug and kiss. Sometimes like just seeing your mum actually have banter with you and actually you being able to take it and her actually take it too. That's just something where I'm like, you know what? I would love to have that kind of relationship with my daughter one day too.
Yeah, inshallah.
It's so
One thing I
wholesome.
want to definitely ask is, obviously you've made it clear on your social media that your dad is a private person, so he'd rather not be on screen. But I'm sure your dad gives the same amount of support as your mum does, or was it a little bit different? Because obviously with mum and dad, it's like sometimes it can be different.
Yeah. No, honestly, they both were like the same. I think they both at the beginning were like, what the hell are you doing? Because they actually didn't
They
understand.
had no
social-
idea, right?
They both now have TikTok and Instagram.
Love that for them.
My mum kept unfollowing me on Instagram because she didn't understand how it works.
Oh,
And I was like,
that's
you
so
are
cute.
actually my biggest op. No, it's not cute.
sorry.
What do you mean it's cute to unfollow me.
You know what? I'm gonna back it till the end.
Yeah, back.
Carla, you unfollow her as much as you want. It's okay.
No. But my dad and my mum are both so supportive. My dad just doesn't like being
On the camera.
not even that. I think once he saw the growth, he was like, yeah, I just don't want to be like out there.
Yeah.
Which I was like, it's so fair. You want to keep it like, you know, you want to be a private man.
Yeah.
Private man.
But he's so supportive. Like my whole family is really supportive.
Yeah.
Okay.
Regardless.
My mum is like that. She saw the growth and she was like, I don't want to be on your page, because she agreed to actually like being in content. I actually wanted her to be on the pod, and I was like to Imaani, bring your mum too.
We kept saying we can get our mum to come, but
but mum was like, no, I can't do it.
It is scary. I do get
It's
it.
fairs.
Like it's insane. Like because I forget that there are actually people behind the number, and I post a crying story. My mum's like, you realize like 900,000 people can see that, and I'm like, oh yeah. I didn't think about that.
But that's what we love. Like it's giving a humble vibe, but also at the same time, you're basically saying here that you're just being yourself on your page.
question. Do you feel like you, even though, and something that I actually love is that you are very vulnerable online. Do you know what I mean? Like, as in you can literally just post yourself crying, and that is you being vulnerable. And I feel like that actually helps so many people. But I'm guessing there must be a side to you that also you want to keep private. Have you struggled with that the more you've grown? Do you know what I mean? Keeping that part, or like parts of your life private, or is there more pressure? Is there less? Like,
I am okay with being vulnerable, but I don't want to always. Like, there's periods of time, like January 2025 has been just a bit of a rough patch, just in general. And I think my followers do know that. But, like, they haven't seen every time I've cried kind of thing. And, like, they haven't seen every time I've been upset. And, like, I don't want to always come across like I'm just, like, constantly going through it. Because I'm not constantly going through it. I think sometimes I do just wallow a bit too, not too much, but I wallow a lot. And I don't want to always expose that. And then sometimes, like, when I'm out and about in public and I'm going through a really rough day and like, those people don't know and they come say hi, obviously I'm going to say hello because that may be the only time they meet me. And I really want to meet them because I don't really get that opportunity. But, like, sometimes I'm, like, in my heart, I'm like, I just really feel bad because I don't
you carry
feel
a lot of heaviness.
But, yeah, I think I'm okay. Like, I'm actually not bad. Like, I don't really have anything to keep private, if that makes sense.
I hear you.
Like,
I get what you mean.
I'm quite an open book.
Yeah.
But if there ever was, I feel like I would struggle. I'd struggle retaining it because I'm like, guys, this is what's happening in my life.
Yeah, I mean, I can tell you like to just basically explain to your followers, like, this is what's going on, because it also can be very relatable to your followers as well. So, like, you being an open book, there's nothing wrong with that. I think I'm a very open book. Not on Instagram, but just in general. Like, I can meet a girl and 2 minutes later I'll be like, oh, guess what's happening in my life today?
Yeah, no,
She's got a podcast.
Like, but literally, normally in person, like, that's what I do. So there's no, I think being an open book just shows how, like, raw and authentic you can be to people.
I agree.
That's a flex, because people aren't like that these days. You know, it's really hard to find characters like that. But then also, I guess, when you have social media, you kind of need to figure out what your boundary is, and you'll figure out what that boundary is once you get there and you experience it, because you're probably in like a few months' time, a few years' time, you never know, will post something and then think, actually, I don't want people to know about it, so I'm just gonna I'm gonna remove that, and then that's when you'll kind of figure out, like, actually, that's where the boundary line is, and I probably won't go forward posting content like that. But at the moment, it's doing really well, and like the growth is amazing, and we're all so proud of you, because you are repping.
You guys.
Thanks, man.
You guys are
appreciate
repping.
it.
I don't think you guys give yourself enough credit.
Not you coming on.
No, I'm so sorry. I don't.
No,
I feel too gassed.
No, I really
No, we
appreciate
love
that.
you, man. We appreciate you.
We get inspired by people like you. I'm not gonna lie. Like, it's just, I think for me, definitely, when I see your growth, it motivates me to also keep on going, because each one of us, we really want to kind of like leave our mark and kind of like push out our whys, like why we're doing this.
I agree.
And just, once we do leave our mark, we know that we've built something. We've built a legacy. Or, do you know what I mean?
It's so true. I always say to Ayesha as well, like, as you get older, you kind of realize how temporary life can be for a lot of things, whether it's like relationships, whether it's friendships. You just outgrow naturally because the world just keeps spinning, right?
Yeah.
But like for us, like we have where you think, if you envision life to be quite a short experience in some ways, you don't know when it will end. So you got to do your bit to just make it better whilst you're here. And I really think you're doing that. Genuinely.
Yeah. Just
Stop it now.
Okay. A question about like, you know, let's just go like delve more into like you being South Asian. Like, tell me, do you feel a certain level of pressure? Especially because
To be
out of the
different or
Gymshark
to be-
athletes, there's only two. I believe there's only two South Asian. Correct me if I'm wrong. You and Maima.
I think in the UK, I'm not sure about.
I'm
Okay,
not sure
cool.
about the US. People in the comments, correct me if I'm wrong, but but in the UK, it's you and Maima. So do you feel like maybe a certain level of pressure that you have to represent, or like what goes through your mind when it comes to that?
I actually
Or
did. I
responsibility.
did have
Yeah.
this. I did have this conundrum when I first signed, and I was speaking to my parents, and I was like, I can't lie, like. I know people are like brown girl representation because that's a lot of what people say. They're like, oh, you know, I love seeing a fellow brown girly, but like, I can't lie, I'm such a coconut. Like I'm not like the most cultured brown girl out there. Like I get insulted on the daily, like about the not like actual insults. I just like, how do you not know how to speak Tamil? And I'm like, I'm so sorry, but like it's because when I was young, my Tamil teacher kept making me cry, and then my mum was like, we're gonna take this girl out.
That's like that reminds me of my Arabic lessons.
Literally, and my dad used to be like, you and your brother were so smart in the way you guys got out of that Bengali class. I was like, you have to do it too.
Yeah, no, it was like my mum was like, I don't think a child should be crying this much over a language, so she just took me out. And like I love certain curries, but there's some that I don't like, and then like my relatives are like, so you don't like this, or like there's certain foods that I don't like, and I'm like, how do you not like this?
That's fine. You've got a palate.
Exactly.
You've got a specific palate.
But I'm just saying,
that.
like, it definitely, I am definitely not the most cultured of the browns. So when people are like brown girl representation, I'm like, am I?
You know, because it's got nothing to do, in my opinion, it's got nothing to do with how much you know about your culture. It's just got to do with the fact that you're there.
You
and
visually
you're repping,
look,
and
you visually
you don't have to talk
like
about.
you stand out,
Yeah.
without even realizing.
Yeah.
But that feeling of being a standout, does that hold a lot of responsibility for you, or do you just feel like you get it sometimes and you don't get it sometimes? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I think it was more of a difficult thing back then. I think now I'm just like, you know, people first of all can just see a brown girl working out, regardless of the standards that I was like raised with. Like I constantly got told to be like skinny and slim and whatever, and I still went to the gym and became muscular. And that's the thing that pushed me. And like throughout all of this, I've always just stayed true to myself. So at no point have I felt pressure to do anything because I've just kept doing what I'm doing. And if someone sees that as brown girl representation, then that's how they've like they see me as like that they see themselves in me because of the content that I put out, not because I've made it like brown girl content.
I agree.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I hear that.
Do you feel like it's hard for you to be within the fitness space? I feel like, and this is not just one brand related, this is every brand, every fitness girly that's out there. Do you, and fitness guy, do you think it's very, obviously you're smashing it, but do you think it's very hard like to stand out with where you, like who you are and where you're from? Do you think it's a struggle, or?
The things so standing out, yes, because I think a lot of the content, like it gets copied so quickly, especially with short form.
Yeah.
And when you have an original idea, if you get copied, it's just so likely that someone else will boom before you do.
Yeah.
And I definitely got the whole like curry muncher comment sections, and they're like, no one's gonna like you because you're Indian, and in fact I'm actually from Sri Lanka, so you can shut your mouth.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's just things like that. And I was like, oh, so this is like, it's not that it's an unfair platform. How
It's so true.
how am I just getting berated for the fact that I got a bit of melanin to me?
Yeah.
Like, what is the issue here?
Yeah.
I don't understand it. And like,
Yeah.
I think it's that. It's just like there's additional like hate sections to coloured communities that you have to go against.
Yeah, I think also just the Muslim community as well.
Yeah,
like
we could talk about it for a while.
Yeah,
really.
like being brown and being Muslim, that just delves into a whole new
No, it's like 50,000
comment
different
section.
Double
boundaries.
homicide.
Double homicide.
Double homicide.
It really is. It really is. So I completely
Yeah.
understand how you feel. And
No, it's true.
also the idea of just like, I think the generic content, it can be like boom, 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 boom. Unless someone feels inspired or they use your sound or something, they can like, you know, credit you
give
in the
you credit.
caption.
Yeah.
I think it's so important that creators credit in the caption because, you know, at the end of the day, it's an original idea that you probably might have thought long and hard about. It could
Plus,
be anything.
why is
really.
it that it's and what you've just touched on as well, like someone could almost replicate your content, and where you're a brown girlie who's done it, you get berated in the comments, and then another person is feeling inspired and like almost like praised for it. And I do think it's almost like the least you could do is probably get credited.
What they
do you know
probably
what I mean?
see is like the likes and the views, but they won't actually see the comments.
Yeah.
So
Like,
they'll be like, oh, I'll do the same.
because the thing is, it is just like at the end of the day, it's just social media. Like in my mind, I already know it's like it's just social media, it's just videos, it's just views,
Just the
it's
internet.
like
Yeah,
it's just the internet. But like it's weird because the principle behind it is what gets to me. I'm like, so it's just easier for like a non-colored or just like a light-skinned person to do better than someone of color.
I always say that to Ayesha as well. I was like, I remember, and I think I had a very similar feeling when I went to LA, right? Because I was the only hijabi girl there, of like South Asian heritage and visibly Muslim, and like. I used to be like, why is it that we have to actually work 10 times harder? Like, as in the system is just how it is. And then on top of that, you work 10 times harder. And then you also feel like an imposter.
No, it's insane. And also, our communities aren't like the most supportive.
No, we don't.
Like, I think the girls like our age and like the guys
girlies
our
are
age,
girlies,
like
that
that,
we
like
love
our age, generation, whatever, of like, you know, colour. Like they're really supportive.
Yeah.
But if you get like the 34-year-old men, like,
but that goes back to the concept of the older generation being raised differently. So let's go back to the whole like Islamic side. You've got people from the older generation saying as a girl you should not be on social media, full stop. However, I think they've just been raised and been taught one way. However, in our eyes we see a different intention. We're doing it for the sake of, you know, pushing, and it doesn't have to necessarily be Islamic content, just pushing light to our community. And you know, sometimes like I'll like do a little bit of Islamic fact here and there on my page, but regardless, it's pushing light on our community to show that you can do it for the sake of God. Like that's one example. And then going back to like the whole South Asian side of thing, you're basically showing that, you know, we can stay fit, we can stay healthy. Because I'm pretty sure there's multiple stats out there saying that, you know, our cholesterol levels, this and that, like life expectancy, everything's different.
We definitely have some predispositions. I can't like.
We were saying this earlier on, right? We were like, we actually do not know what our genetic makeup is when it comes to, you know, like fitness. Like, you know, usually you'll be like, oh, like, I come from this way. So, like, you know, my ancestors probably had these kind of like builds as a body. We're building our own bodies this generation upwards. Like, I don't even know if my ancestors had hips, had glutes. Do you know what I mean? Like, what do they have? I don't know.
Mine definitely had the tiniest calves because what the hell? What the hell? I can't grow these things for days. I just put on trackies now. I'm just like,
I don't think I know
them.
any South Asian that that actually enjoys their calves. Or knows their calves like that.
I agree. But it's just one of the ones where we just have to, I guess, firm it for now, I guess, and wait and just, you know, have faith in time, and hopefully time can, and our generation, of course, can be that community to change things, you know?
I just think in general though, like, and just honestly, because I think it's different with your families, because like, at least you have like somewhat of an empathy, like you know them as people, so you know they're not bad people, even if they make those comments. Online, I'm like, if that's for your random stranger that's taken time out of your day to comment on me.
I saw that video that you posted.
Are you jobless?
So what did they say? Who was the person? Like, I'm confused.
Which one was this?
This was you were on the floor and you were just going on about how, like, why are you commenting on my outfit?
Oh my god! Okay, okay.
What happened?
So, this is at the gym, and actually, this actually did happen. So I don't really care about the people that said it didn't. But basically, he's actually a very nice person. Like we've spoken on multiple occasions, but he's just set in his ways. So I came with like a really cute bralette and like shorts, and it's like a bra. It's for working out. It's a sports bra made by Gymshark. It's shorts made by Gymshark. Very, you know, supportive. Not that there's much support. And I was just going through my workout, and he's like, you should really cover up. And I'm like, I literally laughed because I thought he was joking. That's how embarrassing it was. I was like, hi. And he was like, no, like,
cover up.
Like, cover up.
Oh
and it's because I had like something like this, but it was purple on at the beginning of the workout. And obviously,
get hot.
the cut was getting hot. It's getting sweaty up in here. And so I took it off, and he was like, yeah, just put it back on. I was like, do not. And I was PMSing. I feel like I need to clarify this. Like I never go off at my elders unless I'm like actually no, I never go off at my elders. But I was just super annoyed.
I think this is a random person that just crossed boundaries. Or even if he wasn't random, you have a few chats with him.
Yeah.
He's not your dad. He's not your uncle.
Yeah,
Like, he's
like,
not part
I'm
of the
just
family.
like, why would you even say that? And also, how does this affect you?
And I also think like it's crazy because I think sometimes strangers on the internet themselves can be quite shameless because you wouldn't say something in real life. But when a real life person, like
When
an
you say it to
actual
my
person,
face, I'm like,
says
are
it,
you okay?
that's
Like,
actually shameless on a different level.
So was it like,
Crazy.
was it like awkward afterwards?
I
What happened
Did you
after?
I did not go back to my gym for a month, and then I went back. 'Cause
I
Have you
hate
seen
that
him?
though. Like the fact that you felt so uncomfortable that you had to
Yeah.
kind of like remove yourself from that environment is
I
crazy.
can't tell him to leave. Like honestly, like I have to just do what's best for my health. What I've realized this past like a few months is just like,
Protect your peace.
yeah, if I just need to protect my peace, and if that means I have to go somewhere, then fine. And also like I got gifted a free membership for like a month at a really nice gym, so I was like, I'm gonna take up that offer right now.
Yeah, so you basically went to a
100%.
different, you didn't stop working out completely.
Oh, God,
You
not for,
went
and
to a-
not for a man. Am I ever
Yeah.
gonna stop doing anything I want to do?
Yeah, literally.
God forbid.
For a
God
man.
forbid.
if any girl stops doing anything for a man, please, like,
Please check yourself.
please check yourself. Look in the mirror and realize who you are,
I
because
should never get to that.
exactly, for a male species.
God forbid.
God forbid. But at the end of the day, what you said in that video, how you addressed it to him, was actually like a perfect way of addressing like who you are, why he shouldn't cross boundaries. Does that happen often, like to you?
Oh,
or...
not in person. I
Okay.
think that that's
That's
the
what I'm
only time it's
saying.
happened in
Yeah.
person. The only other times it happens is just like online.
Yeah.
I'm constantly just told like, oh, like I just thought it's actually quite funny. Good on them. They're like, at one point, guys just gonna start wearing body paint to the gym. I found it hilarious. But I was like, what is the point? Like, what is the point?
Yeah.
How is it affecting you? Is what I don't understand.
Yeah.
And like the fact that they take the time to then comment is crazy. Because
Yeah.
I'm just gonna delete
It's
the
like,
comment or block
do you not have a job? Do you not
Yeah.
have bills to pay? Do you like, what is the need to...
Just comment on a 20-something-year-old's like taste
Yeah.
This is what I'm
post.
saying.
It's a bit creepy.
Also, what does it do for you? Nothing.
Yeah. No, definitely. Well, I want to just like gloss over something else, which is you flying to Canada and having such an incredible experience there. And then obviously meeting a very big, significant actress.
Myself.
Yourself.
Babe,
Your doppelganger.
That really, like, I don't know how Netflix did not actually
Literally.
do an episode based on
Could
that.
you do stunt
Like,
Could you be like a stunt double one day? And you could be a
Sure,
stunt
we
double
actually
for her.
discussed this, me and my
Really?
She was
Yeah.
like, you could actually become a stunt double. And I was like,
I appreciate that.
did you
think I
actually
could do
always
this.
see it? Like, I know you probably get this question
I
all the
never saw
time.
it.
Do you see it now?
No.
The
When
way
I
you
went
guys
to
saw
meet
each
her,
other?
we also agreed that we don't see it.
No
And not
way.
because we hate how each other looks. I think she's like flipping stunning. If you see
And
her,
literally mirror and mirror.
but no.
Reflection.
But we literally saw each other and I was like, we just really don't see it. My
Yeah.
dad sees it. He was, I remember this is like
Really?
one of the
That's
first
so
things.
That's your dad.
He
That is your
literally,
father
I
saying
posted
she's
two
a twin.
videos, and the first comment, like the first time, like Davey was the most popular comment. He was like, "Yeah, I really see it." And bear in mind, he never watched Never Have I Ever.
Oh, fair.
He watched like clips of it to analyze if we looked.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
he's like,
yeah.
I really see it. And
What
I'm
about your mum? Does she see it?
She's like, sometimes I see it. She's like, when you make that face, then I see it. And I'm like, okay, thank you. But no one else really sees it.
What was it like in person meeting her?
Oh, she is that. Okay, no, she's actually the most like down to earth person.
Yeah.
I'm like, if I was her, again, I would have no one speak to me. I'm like, I'm above you. But she was just so sweet. And then she got pancakes. I was like, wow, you're like a real human being. Like,
Aw.
she eats pancakes.
What did you do when you met her? Was it
Did
like...
you guys just stop at the car park?
No,
Like,
no,
what?
no. Okay,
What
so
was the
I
vibe
need to,
there?
yeah.
You know,
So
like, what happened? I'm good.
I need to preface. We didn't just randomly meet in a car park.
Do you know what?
Make a quick cheeky
So
TikTok,
polite.
and then be like, all right, see you later. I got a flight to
I
Canada.
mean,
Basically, what happened is when I became a Gymshark athlete, so she
Yeah.
had actually followed me from before I became a Gymshark athlete, because she probably got the comment so many times, like, do you know what, I might as well just follow this girl.
yeah. Let
Yeah.
me please the internet. My doppelganger.
And then I became a Gymshark athlete, and she DM'd me and she's like, this is so cool, like, you're doing so amazing. And she was like, if you're ever in Canada, like, I'd love to meet you. And like, it was just really convenient timing because I was wanting to see my cousin in Canada. So I was already planning on booking flights.
Yeah.
So
Where in Canada?
Toronto to meet my cousin, and then we travelled to meet each other.
Okay.
And we met in just a cafe. I don't even know what the cafe, but it's like a random cafe, like kind of like Costa vibes. And we just went, grabbed food. I forgot what I got, but it was really good. Anyways, so we had food, and the waitress recognised her, took a picture of them, and then we went to the car park, and then she actually drove me to a shopping mall, and she had to wear a face mask because she's like obviously famous. And I just walked out my and we're walking through it. It was just so funny because we went into, I think it was Sephora, and these girls recognised me, and obviously she had a mask on.
She was like, bitch, you know who I am?
So they did not know who she was, and so they were like, oh my god, can we get a picture with you? And I was like, of course, but I'm like actually weeing myself because I'm like,
the whole Netflix actress
standing right there, none of you know. And then it was finished, and Mike was like, oh my god, I love this life, and I was like, oh my god, she was like my little side chick then.
That is so hilarious.
And then we went to the car park, and she had a TikTok idea, and I had the TikTok idea, and so we did each other's, and then it's just like the sweetest.
Iconic. Oh, do you guys, are you gonna plan on doing another like meet up soon?
Well, I don't know. We would say that anytime she's in London, if I come back to Canada, we'd love to see each other again. But she's also a very booked and busy lady.
I was like, Ayesha, do you think she could just like literally WhatsApp her girl and be like, what are you doing next weekend?
Come over. But no, she's like the sweetest person ever.
And that's a really like cool experience as well.
Yeah,
because
and she's also like another like iconic brown girl.
Exactly.
100%.
Like
someone else that's representing the South Asian community.
And you know, she also did it on Vibes. Like she has no like acting experience prior, and she told me that when we were eating, and I literally like my jaw was like on the floor the entire time.
Really?
Yeah, because she had no acting experience, and she just did. I think it was like an open call for Davey.
Stop it.
And she got the role, and I was like.
So doppelganger and similar journeys. You might as well just be the same person.
No, but you know what? I think that's so like inspiring because it makes you kind of think you actually don't have to be silver spoon fed to get into anything.
Exactly. And
Do you know
sometimes
what I mean?
a lot of people say it's who you know, not what you know. That's right to an extent. But this is a prime example that you don't need to know anybody. Chase your dreams because you never know what can happen. You might actually be able to achieve what you want to achieve. So that's so inspiring.
And imagine if you didn't. Like, I don't know if you believe in the whole like compound effect thing where it's like if you didn't do this, that wouldn't happen, that wouldn't happen. So like, imagine if like, even though there must have been parts of your journey that must have been so dark or so testing, if you did not persevere, you wouldn't be in that car park, bro.
Yeah, no. I wouldn't be in that car park. No, I think about that all the time. Like me and my dad was like, because basically we didn't understand like any of the finances that comes with this whole like world.
Life. Yeah.
And it's like we should have just gotten used to a business degree. And I was like, yeah, but at the same time, accounting and finance was one of those you know, mathy ones. And I was like, yeah, but also I never got into the gym
to make money.
Yeah, like I went to the gym because I was going through a really rough patch because then she just threw me like right down the dark hole like from day dot. And so if it wasn't for that, I would not have had any of this. So as shite, can I say that? Yeah, shite as that was, like it got me to here. Yeah, so I'm very grateful for it. As rubbish as it was.
Well, that's amazing. Obviously not the going down the dark hole. That's not amazing.
That wasn't great. That wasn't great.
But the
that
journey
whole
itself.
lesson about the fact that you had to go through all of that to be where you are now, I think that's going to resonate with so many people who might be watching this and feeling like they're currently in a dark place. You know. So thank you.
There's always light at the end of the tunnel. Like 100%. I think,
and if there isn't light, then you're not at the end of the tunnel.
Exactly. There's still more to the journey.
Wow. I've always just heard there's light at the end of the tunnel. I've never had the exception.
Imaani spits
bars. I did not think of that.
But it's so true. It's so
really
true.
Carry that with me today.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, let's just say that maybe when you finish your degree, and you will finish it with flying colours, and it will be absolutely
maybe not flying colours, but
she could be flying.
Some colours of some kind.
She's somewhere in the sky. All I'm saying is that you're gonna do really well regardless. You know, because you've smashed it so far. But we're so proud of you. I'm so proud of you. We love you. Imaani's so proud. We love you so much.
Proud of you guys too.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So we're gonna wrap up this episode with something that we want to do at the end of every guest episode, and that's called a sister's secret. Why don't you explain what a sister's secret is?
So, in celebration of our first ever guest, Miss Sandsxfitness, we want to essentially get every single guest to leave a little secret for our next guest, who'll be on our next episode. And it's really up to Sands what she'd like to leave them with. She can either leave them with a challenge, maybe a little lesson, or maybe even just a question. So, we're going to give the paper and the pen to Sands.
How do I do it? Do I fold it?
Yeah, write it, fold it, and then we're gonna basically
But
give
it's a secret,
this.
so we don't want to know.
Yeah, so
Okay.
we can't look.
Okay.
And then we're gonna give it to the next
This one is
guest,
pressure.
and then the next guest will open, and then we'll go from there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
100%.
And we'll basically find out what Sands writes as well in our next guest episode.
Yeah.
Which means we'll be
Technically,
more
it's only
motivated to
really
get
a
more
secret
guests.
from me and Ayesha
Yeah.
and you guys.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah.
And hopefully this will motivate us to bring more guests onto the pod too. Like, this was so much fun.
So much
Honestly,
fun.
I've enjoyed every second of this episode, and I'm actually so excited to see what this journey entails for us with the
know.
podcast and with guests. And if you guys really enjoyed this episode, we will definitely supply you with more guest episodes. Like,
And
we're
also,
talking
let us
consistency.
know who you want to see. Like, let
Yeah.
us know who you want us to bring on, who you want us to yap with. Because we're ready to yap, guys.
We're
You know,
ready
we
to yap.
always are ready to yap.
Yeah, we are yappers.
But yeah,
Okay,
Miss Sands.
is
have
that your?
you-
Don't look at me. I don't want to see.
She has folded the paper.
Well, the Sharpie's going to the paper. Maybe I have to fold it twice.
Double fold,
Yeah,
double
yeah.
fold.
Right. Bloody Sharpie.
Yeah.
Seeping through the paper.
It's okay, Vaughn did try.
Sorry, Vaughan.
That's a Sharpie, bless
But
him.
yeah, Sands,
Thank
it's
you
been an
so
absolute
much.
pleasure to have you.
you for
We
coming
love
through the
you.
storm.
We celebrate you. we
don't
thank
think
you
you.
so much for genuinely honestly, just you being you.
Yeah.
You make a lot of light and a lot of impact on
So
people.
do you guys. I promise. Like, your
Oh.
community's amazing. Like,
Oh.
insane.
Thank you so much. Guys, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell if you want to see
And if you
more
haven't-
episodes like this.
Yes, sorry, and I was gonna say if you haven't followed Sandsxfitness, then you better start following now.
Exactly.
And
We'll
yeah,
link her socials in the caption below.
amazing. All right, thanks guys.
Bye.
See you.
Ah, there we go.
Happens on her film camera.
Thanks for sorting this out, Sam.
No worries.
Yeah, this camera overheats quick.
Nice and quick.
I've got to upgrade it.
Man,
That's cute. Yeah.